Right guys, Mark Crossfield here, Royal Birkdale. That's the 12th. Walking up onto the 13th tee. We're going to recreate Jordan Spieth's 13th hole at the Open here at Royal Birkdale. How did he make that bogey? How did he find that ball? Why was he not trying to hit the fairway? Can I hit a ball over a steep mound? Let's see if we can recreate the Jordan Spieth mega bogey on 13. So I'm going to hit two shots. So there's two interesting points here. What he was doing all week, the commentary lead us to believe, is he was actually trying to hit the right hand rough, which we'll get up there and show you why he was going to do that. I'm going to try and hit the fairway, and then we'll talk about how difficult it is from there, and then we'll recreate his exact drive. Right, hitting fairway first. It's narrow. Bunkers on the right, which you're not going to hit the green from. They probably would reach the ones in the distance. I'm not. Wind off the left as well, so I'm going to start it at the left, try and drift it back into the fairway. As I'm not going to complete most of the other shots he did, I feel like this is the only shot I can possibly win on. Which I have. Oh, leave it wind, I think. That's up the right side. I think that'll work. Now this is what Jordan did. Bear in mind he's probably, and we can ask him if we get the chance, trying to hit the right hand rough. So I'm now aiming down the left side of the right hand rough. Oh my word, yeah, that's
I hope he doesn't hit the truck.
That is, and then he starts going like this. Panic he must have been feeling as soon as that ball came off the face, wind off the left, starting right, going right, massive mounds. I mean, he's probably thinking, that's a goner. Right, here's my tee shot in the fairway. That's a win for me, is it, Jordan? That's all I can do, but the trouble is I'm 250 out. Let's show you where they would have been. So we're going up there in a minute. The fun starts up there in that tallest mound. Like these three bunkers that they are reaching, I'm only just reaching. You're not hitting the green from this one. Unless you're in the back of this one, if you get anything near this face, you are not hitting the green from this one either. Let's just walk up and show you this one. You are definitely not hitting the green from this one, around 190 out. And then the two on the left, if you can reach them with their winds, they're deeper. Now, he was hitting all week apparently into this strip of rough. And I get it. I don't understand why this wouldn't have been thicker, to be honest, but this strip of rough, 200 yards out, definitely opens up the green fine. You can get most of the green as long as that pin isn't tucked short right, which it is, but it's a 500-yard par 4. Their par here is fine. Birdie's a bonus. They're just trying to make par and make scores in other places. Let the fun begin. Watch what happens next. So this tallest dune, it's this one where they found it. Now, these dunes aren't small. There was a lot of running around going on. So the tallest one, we have the Titleist truck here. Obviously there was all the other trucks. Here is the hole. Here is the rough he was trying to hit. It's right, but bearing in mind he's trying to hit the rough, it's not as far right as you think, bearing in mind he wasn't going to try and hit that fairway basically. Around here. So no way of playing this shot. Like a wedge is not getting you back anywhere at all. So the drop started to unfold. So line of sight is going to get him somewhere as I understand it. So he's in this tallest mound. It's kind of getting him around here. And there would have been more trucks here. So then we start heading this way. Now the boys were on the truck while this unfolded. They were literally like, what's going on? What are all these people doing? So you were there on that fateful day?
I was indeed. Jeremy Wright and myself were in the truck at the time, and the first we knew of it was almost a stampede and a massive roar from a crowd.
Yeah.
And we went out to have a look, and by the time we got out there was thousands of people coming down to see obviously where his ball was.
Yeah.
His ball ended up halfway up the hill here, and obviously he was going to take relief from that. and where he had to drop then was on the actual trackway where the trucks in amongst the trucks. So as he got relief again from that, which put him on this side of the truck on the grass, then he got another load of relief, another drop, which put him where he took the shot from.
Now what's interesting is this is Sunday, and you guys aren't normally here on a Sunday, are you? Where the Open obviously is different, or is it just this venue that made you stay?
The Open is different. Where the truck is always available for the players all week during the Open. Normally we're only there till Wednesday.
So any other day the trucks would have been gone. I wonder if the stuff would have been taken up from the ground or not. Probably not, so he would have still got a drop from there. But in some ways the trucks kind of helped him out, didn't they? Because his drop, not getting away from the trucks, would have been pretty messy.
You know, if the trackway hadn't been there, he would have been really close up to this bank.
Yeah.
But because of the trackway, then he's ended up far enough away to take his shot.
So this spot marks the place he hit his shot from, the drop by the truck over the mounds. Now to get to understand what he had to do from here, there's a few points. He's got no yardage from here. Remember, they can't zap yardages. He's using yardages from way over there, like 50 yards over there. So there's a bit of guesstimation going on. We've got people everywhere. He's on the practice ground, so he's not really kind of on the course, and we've got some scaling to do. So we've now got to find the line and clear the many spectators, photographers that just want that kind of key shot. So I'm on top of the tallest mound. I'm out of breath. He's fitter than me, and I'm trying to work out my line to this flag from where I'm going to be potentially dropping it to where I want to hit it and where I don't want to hit it. Remember, wind still off the left. He's going to be completely blind. Definitely has a bailout left. Back down we go. He ain't going to be feeling that positive on this one, I don't think. So a few points about the drop. One, it's a drop. So obviously I'm going to try and get the best lie I can get. He was using his 3-iron. Now we've got one made up exactly to his specs, which I'll have a go with, but I won't get anywhere near the green with this, but we'll have a hit. I'm going to hit my 3-wood, which is going to be the club that gets me up there. Now he wasn't sure, as I understand it, if it was 270 or 230 or 40, because he had a 3-wood in his hand at one point and then was told to hit the 3-iron, or decided to hit the 3-iron, because they worked out, I think it was 230 or 240 yards. You've got to remember, their yardages are from books, and the fairway is like a long way away that way, so they're having to really work this out. Other problem we've got, this dune is high. Now, I'm worried a 3-iron for me, not a great 3-iron player, isn't going to get over there, and 3-wood I'm going to try and make sure I get it in the air. I think we give it a go, don't we? So I'm going to drop it. I so want to place it so I get a lie, but obviously I can't, and he's old school drop. Not a bad lie. Let's go his 3-iron to start. I so wouldn't be using this club. Just putting my excuses out there, hybrid or fairway wood for me. So I'm going to go over the middle of this bank, let the wind try and move it back. And I have drifted that right. Now if you watch his reaction, apart from distance, I feel like that's the shot he actually played, because if you watch his reaction when he hits the shot, he hits and he kind of almost holds his head again and kind of stamps as if it's not really the shot he wanted to hit. A kind of drifty one. And with the wind off the left, that's the last thing you want. I'm going to have another go with my 3-wood, which should give me better distance, and then we'll get up there and see where they've ended up. So I'm going to do the 3-wood now. Drop. So this one I feel more confident that I can reach with my distance. I say reach, I mean hit it a bit further than that 3-iron. I might not reach. I do wonder if it's going to get over that mound though. That's up the left. I've ripped that, but I reckon that's up the left. Let's get up there and see what we can find. So here's my 3-iron, or his 3-iron. I mean, we're 60 yards short, but on the exact line. That, to me, feels like the shot he was playing. Little leaky long iron. I just have nowhere near the distance to get to where he got. With slightly different wind, but still. He's 30 yards past where I am. That's the real skill that these guys have here. So here's my 3-wood. My 3-wood on the angle. If I hit the fairway, if I did manage to get it into this space, I would have got kind of front edge. And that's the kind of equivalence for me to them, definitely all day long. I'm hitting 3-wood to their 3-iron. I've seen it on tour ranges all around the world. We're going to move into where he was chipping from. Oh God, help me, I'm chipping. So here is where he ended up. Now what have we got? We've got a bunker to get over. We've got the pin set up in the exact place that they had the pin on that final Sunday. We've got a ridge here. So he's coming right onto a downslope, kicking it away and to the left. So we need to try and land our ball kind of in this little depression here and hope it just pops out and over. I imagine someone with the short game that Jordan has and enjoys, he is totally thinking 5 now. Up and down 5, up and down 5. And that is a win for him. Right, 2 balls, 56-degree wedge. I am not a Spieth light chipper. Oh, that's the one. That is the shot. I mean, that's pretty much the shot here. I'm going to have another go, but that is pretty much, I think, what he hit. That could be better. Or just shot. My guess from this distance, Spieth's short game, that time of year, so that in that time of his career, he is definitely wanting to get that up and down. Well, he wants to get up and down 10 times out of 10. 2 not bad shots for me. He was 6 foot, I think, which is about there. So I did chip inside him. I had 2 balls. We might have had a few takes at that. Just might have. Stop laughing, Hugh. Slightly off the left side. He holds this, he steals. He holds it, he steals, and what happens next is crazy good. So the tallest one, we have the Titleist truck here. Obviously there was all the other trucks. Here is the hole. Here is the rough he was trying to hit. It's right, but bearing in mind he's trying to hit the rough, it's not as far right as you think. Bearing in mind he wasn't going to try and hit that fairway. Yeah. So quite a finish, 13 onwards. That was probably one of the most amazing finishes of the tournament you've had for under par in the last, was it 5 holes or so?
Yes, it was birdie, eagle, birdie, birdie, par.
Yeah, absolutely.
To finish after...
Because you went back to, both of you went back, I think to you and Kuchar went back to 8 under, so you actually were tied.
I was actually down 1.
Right, okay.
I became the chaser instead of the one leading, and it actually made me more comfortable.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, okay, everything bad has happened that could happen.
Yeah.
And I'm only down 1. Let's try and create an advantage on every hole. Every hole we play, let's play match play. I want the last putt. Yeah. I want a putt to win every hole. And then I ended up having a putt inside of him on every hole. 17, he happened to make his birdie putt. But at that point, I was 2 up, and I needed to make my 5-footer or so to remain 2 up.
Yeah, for an amazing finish. What an amazing finish.
Thank you. It was.
You won by
it sure didn't look like it. I ended up winning by 3.
Yeah.
He had to try and force it on the last. So I ended up winning by 3, but we were bringing the rest of the field into, I was bringing the rest of the field into play after my my first 13 holes on Sunday.
Yeah, great. So the video, let's start with the tee shot. Were you trying to hit the rough on the right-hand side and not the fairway?
Correct. And Cooch drove it over there too. That was a common theme for the players that week. The fairway with a left-to-right wind was so difficult to hit. But the rough on the right side was the lightest rough maybe on the golf course, and you can hit driver, making the hole significantly shorter and a mid-iron into the green. So I was trying to hit the right rough with a fade, starting it at the bunkers on the right side.
So when you were trying to, obviously finding the ball, and then going from the drop and those kind of things, heart pounding, or how was that playing out? I mean, it looked hectic, obviously from the TV cameras. There were people scampering everywhere. What was going through your mind, and what was going on with the heart?
Yeah, I think I had so much adrenaline, and I knew that was a pivotal moment, that if I could figure out a way to make a bogey, I would feel like I escaped that hole and only one back and still have a chance to win the tournament, but a double or triple would be a dagger. So I remember climbing the hills. I think it was probably more tiring for Michael. He went up and down the dunes even more so. For me, it was, when I saw where my ball was, I knew I couldn't play it. I knew my unplayable within 2 club lengths was not an option, and so I was going to my next options, just going through my head. And I made the decision quickly. What took so long was
it was a
how to
series
drop
of drops,
it.
wasn't it? Because you were by a truck and then you got by a TV tower, was it? Which then got you out onto the
Right.
pavement?
I had to. When I asked if the range was out of bounds or not, and they told me it wasn't, I knew that was my safest play, to have a lie and enough room between me and the dunes to be able to clear.
Yeah.
And it was way better than the tee shot because I could get it near the green.
Yeah.
Then it was just dropping it. I dropped it in the middle of all the trailers.
Yeah.
And it's funny how I happened to get relief right by the Titleist trailer, and that just be right in the full follow through of the shot. And not only was it the trailer, they had the flag on the end of the trailer too. It's just like that was actually the flag that gave me extra relief.
Oh,
the
really?
Flag on the Titleist trailer.
Okay, we didn't know that. Excellent.
Actually, I think gave me a little extra space there to the right that I wouldn't have had.
Fantastic.
Because of the line of sight.
So once we get there, then the yardage, how easy was that to get, or was it a guess? Because obviously your yardages aren't from the range, are they? They're like 50 yards over on the fairway, I guess.
Right. I trusted Michael there. I thought it was a 3-wood.
Yeah,
I thought it was about 270 yards.
Yeah.
And he said, I think you're 230 yards.
Yeah.
And a 40-yard difference is not something we're normally dealing with on an approach shot. And so he said, look, I think it's 230, play it a little left. If you're short, it's okay. I said, but if I'm long, it's okay. And we ended up going with the, he had done so much walking and looking at the yardages, and I really hadn't. My time was spent on the drop. And so I went with, what he had done. And he was right.
Guess. Yeah, absolutely.
He was close. I mean, I think it was probably somewhere around 240 yards would be my guess.
Yeah, fantastic. I think we measured it around there, actually. The shot from the range, I see it as quite an average shot for what you were probably expecting. You didn't even look that happy with it. Maybe a little heely cut with the wind, or can you remember the shot?
Yeah, I can. We weren't exactly sure on the line.
Yeah.
And I knew that short right was the only place you didn't want to miss.
Yes.
Long right's okay. Short left or long left, all okay to that pin, but short right's not good. And so when I hit it, my intent was to be probably 10 yards left of where I was, and I mishit it just slightly. And so again, remember, I'm thinking that I'm 270 yards though. So I'm thinking I'm an extra 40 yards short from where I actually was with the shot. If I was correct on the number, and fortunately Michael was. If I knew it was going to get that close to the green, I was going to be okay with the shot. But right after I hit it, I was frustrated with it until we got up there and saw that, it had been fortunate to not get into one of those bunkers, but also be in a position where I could chip it within 5 feet. So
yeah, so I go on to the chip. I would say the chip was kind of as expected for a player of your short game caliber. You're expecting to get it to, like you say, 5 foot or closer, which you kind of did.
Yes, I thought it was a tougher shot than it maybe looked, given there was a knob. And if I hit it a little too hard, I was going to have about 12 feet from right of the hole. A little too short, it was going to be 20 feet left. So it had to have enough speed, but still go over the knob appropriately.
Well, it took me about 12 goes to get to 5 foot from there. But anyway,
I had the wind off the left, and over there the wind actually really makes a difference on and around the greens too, and so it helped kind of hold it on the slope. And when I knocked that putt in, I thought that
solid putt, slight left to righter. Can you remember it as?
Slight left to righter, and I actually pulled it when I hit it. I pulled the putt, but I misread it slightly.
Okay.
So there was a bit of fortune throughout this entire hole that allowed me to walk in with a 5 and only be 1 back. And because I felt like I had kind of stolen something out of the hole, it was the first time that day where I felt like, wow, I actually walked away stealing a stroke here.
Yeah.
And I thought, I have 2 par 5s left with a distance advantage on Cooch.
And let's make the finish that you made.
And let's just try and just take it shot by shot and just create a little bit of an advantage each hole. And that's what I ended up doing.